And the Supreme Court, in a divided decision yesterday, overruled a three-judge panel and said that Alabama could go forward with its new redistricting plan, although it also said it was not ruling on the ultimate merits of the challenge to the plan. To explain what this means for elections in this midterm year, we welcome now Bloomberg Supreme Court reporter Greg Stohr. Greg, great to have you with us. We always have to get into the procedure here a little bit. How can it be that they let the thing go, but they didn't really rule on the merits?
Well, Alabama was asking the Supreme Court for a stay to block this lower court ruling for the November election. And the Supreme Court granted that stay. So it means this lower court ruling, which said Alabama had to create a second heavily black district, that is not in effect anymore. And so Alabama can use the Republican drawn map that the legislature put together.
But Greg, as a practical matter, is it a de facto ruling on the merits in the sense that the accounts I've read say this means in all likelihood that will be the redistricting plan used in the election in November?
Well, if you listen to Justice Brett Kavanaugh, who was in the majority, he says no. He says that this is absolutely not a ruling on the merits. We're going to take that up later, presumably next term. But the dissenting justices, the liberals, said basically this is a prejudgment that the court is making. And given what we know about this court, this is a court that has generally restricted the Voting Rights Act. And so there's every reason for Alabama to be optimistic that this will turn into a permanent rule.
Well, Greg, I haven't read the pleadings in it, but it is under the Voting Rights Act of 1965. This is not a constitutional issue, as I understand it. And whether this runs afoul of the Voting Rights Act of 1965, is it a question of the intent in drawing the districting rather than the effect?
No, it's not. No, excuse me. This is not an intent case. This is just about whether there are enough black voters that are compact enough in Alabama that the state could draw a second heavily black district there. Alabama is arguing that's not really the test. They say, look, we didn't take race into account at all in this process, and that should be enough. And so you should leave the map the way we had it, which has only one heavily black district.
Okay, one more, Greg. What do we know about a possible replacement for Justice Breyer, who said he's stepping down come probably the end of June? Where are we in that process?
Well, the White House is starting to vet people, might be starting to reach out to people. There's a CNN report suggesting that they are doing that. The president has said he's going to name somebody by the end of February, and Democrats in the Senate say they're going to move very quickly and have a replacement confirmed well before Justice Breyer retires at the end of this term.